My guys, fellas, man, how y'all doing today? First off, I gotta say thank y'all for 300 subs, man. We're gonna keep growing, we're gonna keep moving. Appreciate y'all, the guys that do send me like questions and topics and things to talk about. Definitely keep doing that so I can keep going. Boy, just got back from the mountains. It was a good trip. I was up there wrestling with bears and stuff, but had a good time for sure. But I do have a little story that will lead into today's topic. As you can see, we talking about submission, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything about it, man, when it comes to women. So, while you up there, sometimes you go to these resorts and they offer you free things, rewards to sit through a timeshare presentation. So, we did that. It's supposed to be a 90-minute presentation. I'm actually gonna talk about it longer on my vlog, but it was a specific part in during the presentation, actually towards the end of it. These guys, they use a lot of predatory tactics, a lot of like sleazy salesman tactics to try to sell you into these timeshares and stuff like that. And it's really like anything else, like someone's trying to scam you. They're not really gonna want to take no for an answer. You're gonna have to keep saying no. And yeah, so that's basically what happened during our situation. We get to the end of it. The guy who was giving us the tour and all that, he brings another guy over. The other guy, he's like really trying to press us and trying to tell us, like, basically telling us that we're dumb for not taking the opportunity because we were getting such a good deal and it's gonna be so beneficial to us because I be traveling and stuff. And they knew I was a travel vlogger and they were trying to make it seem like I was being an idiot for missing this opportunity. But I stayed on my square, I stood on business, had my lady with me, and she just followed my lead. She didn't give them any type of sign that maybe she would be like going against what I was saying and stuff like that. She just sat there, followed her lead, kind of was laughing at them a little bit because of how like pressy they were trying to be. And yeah, she, saying, just as usual, she, saying, she trusts me and my leadership and my judgment to make decisions for us and stuff like that. But there was another couple. So after that, we deal with those guys. They sent us to a third guy, actually. The third guy, he still couldn't get me, told him no. But as we were waiting for our reward for sitting through the presentation, another couple, they come and sit beside us. So I'm looking at them, they yeah, they sitting there talking to each other. I'm thinking like, damn, I wonder if they took it or not. And during their conversation, we could overhear them saying, like, the guy was like, why you ain't follow my lead and this and that. So I'm assuming during their presentation, she kind of was interested or showing interest, and it was kind of like making it harder for him to like tell them no and get out of it, which, that's just a sign of lack of submission in their relationship. And it was kind of obvious there that she was kind of the one running the show. Now, I say all that to say submission, man, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The truth about it, man, if a woman doesn't trust you to be a leader, she's not gonna want to submit, man. She's not gonna want to submit. You got to be a true leader, man. You have to show leadership qualities. You have to have a direction. You have to be following some sort of purpose. You have to have some sort of hierarchy to where she already knows and understands that, yeah, she can be your top confidant, your counsel, part of your counsel. But at the end of the day, you're making the decision. So she needs to follow. She's joining your kingdom. She's coming into your program, And you can tell what type of relationships between have that and what don't. It's very obvious from just having a conversation with a couple, like if the woman feels that he's a true leader. And a lot of guys, they always complaining like, oh, these women are submissive and da 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 da. And yes, a good woman, she's gonna be able to be that off jump. Like, I don't like how these women say like, oh, you gotta show me this and that. Like, she should be able to sense what type of man you are off jump just by how you move and just by having a few conversations with you. It shouldn't take you have to jump through hoops and hurdles for her to be submissive. But the ugly truth about submission is also you're gonna have to be a provider as a man. Now, I'm not saying you have to be taking care of 100% of everything and just being a slave to your family and your relationship. I'm not saying that, but a big part of the load, a big part of um, the providing of the family is going to have to be on you if you really want a woman to submit, because it's going to be hard for her to live in her true femininity if she has to do things that you do. So if she has to work long hours and do a lot of stuff, and or she's trying to like be like, I'm not saying she can't have a business at all, but if she's like trying to use that to really provide for the family and she feels like she has to do it, then yeah, she's going to be more so in a masculine energy where it's going to be hard for her to submit. Most women, like, yeah, you see a lot today that do, like, if they're not understanding of this knowledge that we're talking about right now, then it's going to be hard for them. But if they have somewhat of an understanding, then yeah, it could be possible for her to be able to flip that switch to be, okay, I know I can be masculine in these situations when I'm at work, when I'm running a business, but when I'm at home and when I'm around my husband, I need to flip that femininity switch all the way on, all the way on. But that's really hard for a lot of women to do nowadays. And it's really because of us as men, you know, we not putting them in the proper situations. And of course, like, you know, being realistic, most relationships, especially if you're in the West, capitalistic societies, it's going to be hard for you, a guy to take care of 100% of everything. I'm not ignorant to that. But you have to do as much as you can as a man and just be on your purpose. Like I said, be a true leader that she can respect and that she can trust. Like your woman, she literally needs to be at a point where you tell her like, yo, we're going to jump off this cliff. She, no question asked, okay, I'm going to do it. I might not understand it right now, but I trust him, trust his judgment, and I'm going to jump off this cliff with him, you know? Because she needs to be able to trust that you're not going to lead her to destruction, at least purposely, you know, at least purposely. So yeah, man, I think submission, it can be a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. It's something that as men we have to earn through creating value within ourselves and just developing those qualities that of a man that deserves that. Because, you know, every guy don't deserve a submissive woman. You know, we got guys that's sitting around lazy, playing video games all day, or just not handling the business how they're supposed to. So why do you think you deserve a woman that's gonna be submissive and cook for you and clean for you and do all of those detaily things that you need her to do, when if she has to do feminine things and masculine things at the same time? Usually it's just not going to work like that. There are one-off situations. Like I said, there are women that understand that, okay, like, okay, he might not be able to fully provide right now, but he's doing everything he can. So let me do everything I can on my end, even if that is, okay, I got to work this job right now to be able to supplement income while he's still pushing to be where he wants to be at. But it's really why it's best as a man, have your kingdom together before you start inviting women in. You know, it's just best to have it together. And when I say have your kingdom together, I really mean just have your foundation set. Have your foundation set, have your base income, be able to take care of yourself fully before you even think about taking care of someone else, because you don't want to be like struggling, trying to juggle your purpose, but also be a provider at the house and stuff like that. These are just things that I've learned over time, because yeah, I've been that guy trying to be on my purpose as much as possible, but still like in a situation where I'm struggling and stuff. But that's just life as a man, to be honest. I feel like this becomes part of your story, but make it easy as possible on yourself. And you know, I ain't saying don't date at all, but when it comes to like really inviting a woman into your kingdom, at least make sure you got it straight, have it together. And I guess it's not gonna be perfect, because you still gonna have stuff to learn when it comes to being a husband and becoming a father and stuff. It's gonna be stuff to learn, but just have your stuff together as much as possible, especially if you are trying to find like a submissive feminine woman and you want her to be able to live in that energy as much as possible. You know, a lot of women today, they want to do masculine things. They want to run businesses. They want to do things outside of themselves. And that's because the world is different now. It's like when it comes to dishes or even cleaning the house, it's like all that stuff doesn't take as much time up as it used to. Even cooking nowadays, it doesn't. Everything she's doing it naturally and from scratch is gonna take as much time. But even then, like your oven's heating up way faster than it was back in the day. So I say all that to say, like, okay, if you are looking for a submissive woman, like I said, make sure you're a true leader. You gotta be a provider, at least somewhat. You gotta have that provider energy in you, and she got to be able to trust you, man. She got to be able to trust your decisions. Like I said, that's going to be the biggest one. If she don't trust you to make good decisions, there's no way that she's going to be a submissive woman to you. And there's always, like I said, some of these women just might be too damaged. Some of them, it might just be too damaged. But though usually those women, if she sees a masculine man that she feels like, because I've had a lot of situations where even like women that are like studs or like, you know, they act like men a little bit, when I come around, they start falling back into their femininity. I've seen it happen, but like I say, some of them too damaged is never gonna happen. So those ones, just don't even allow them to anywhere near your kingdom. You know, let them, they can talk they whatever from outside the gates, but don't allow them nowhere into your inner sanctum, into your kingdom. But yeah, man, just wanted to make that video for you guys. I also made a couple videos where I was gone. I'm gonna post those too. As always, lay out.